My dear friends, let us begin by understanding what we mean by the discipline of the mind. It is not, as some might imagine, a rigid control or suppression of thoughts. Rather, it is the art of directing your consciousness, of becoming the master of your inner world. We say your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the bridge between the formless realm of infinite possibility and the world of form that you experience. Now you might ask, Neville, why is it so important to discipline the mind? And to this I say, because your mind is the creator of your reality. Every experience you have, every circumstance in your life is a direct reflection of your mental activity. Your thoughts, beliefs, and imagination are not mere responses to the world around you, but the very substance from which your world is formed. Imagine, if you will, that your mind is like a garden. Every thought you think, every belief you hold is like a seed planted in this garden. If you allow your mind to run wild, planting seeds indiscriminately, is it any wonder that your life becomes a tangled jungle of experiences, some desired and some not? But when you learn to discipline your mind, you become the master gardener of your own existence, carefully choosing which seeds to plant and nurture. This, my dear friends, is the power of a disciplined mind. It is the ability to consciously choose your thoughts, to direct your imagination, and to hold steadfastly to the beliefs that serve your highest good. It is through this discipline that you harness the creative power of the universe itself. But how, you may wonder, does one begin to discipline the mind? It starts with awareness. Become the observer of your own thoughts. Notice the constant chatter of your mind, the stream of judgments, worries, and speculations that flow through your consciousness. This awareness is the first step towards mastery. As you observe your thoughts, you will likely notice how often your mind dwells on the negative, on fears, doubts, and limitations. This is not your fault. It is simply the conditioned pattern of the human mind. But now, armed with awareness, you have the power to change this pattern. The next step in disciplining your mind is to consciously choose your thoughts. When you catch your mind wandering into negative territory, gently but firmly redirect it. Choose thoughts that align with your desires, with your highest vision for yourself. This is not about forced positive thinking, but about aligning your mind with the truth of your divine nature. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind the thoughts. You are the chooser of the thoughts. This understanding is crucial in the discipline of the mind. It gives you the power to step back from the constant mental chatter and choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let pass by. Now let us delve deeper into the practice of mental discipline. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is your imagination. Your imagination is not some fanciful daydreaming, but the very creative power of the universe expressing through you. When you learn to discipline your imagination, you gain the ability to shape your reality at will. Begin by setting aside time each day to consciously use your imagination. Create a scene in your mind that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If you desire health, see yourself engaging in activities that a healthy person would. If you desire wealth, see yourself living in a state of wealth. Make these imaginal acts as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the reality of your desire fulfilled. As you practice this disciplined use of imagination, you are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of your desire. And your subconscious, being the faithful servant that it is, will begin to bring about circumstances and experiences that match this inner image. But mental discipline goes beyond just positive thinking or creative visualization. It involves mastering your emotional states as well. Your emotions are intricately linked with your thoughts, and together they create the vibration that you emit into the universe. Learn to cultivate emotions that align with your desires. If you wish to experience love, cultivate the feeling of love within yourself. If you desire success, nurture the feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction. These emotions are not reactions to external circumstances, but choices you make in each moment. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Metal, it's not easy to control my emotions. Sometimes they seem to overwhelm me. To this, I say, you are right, it is not always easy. but it is always possible. The key lies in understanding that your emotions follow your thoughts. By disciplining your thoughts, you gain mastery over your emotions. When you find yourself in the grip of a negative emotion, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of your true nature. Say to yourself, I am calm. I am in control. I am the master of my mind. Feel the truth of these statements resonating in your being. This simple practice can shift your emotional state in an instant. As you continue to practice mental discipline, you will find that it becomes easier and more natural. What once required conscious effort will become second nature. Your mind will naturally gravitate towards thoughts that serve your highest good. But make no mistake, the discipline of the mind is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. Just as an athlete must continuously train to maintain peak performance, so must you continuously practice mental discipline to maintain mastery over your inner world. Now let us address a common challenge in the practice of mental discipline: the persistence of unwanted thoughts and beliefs. You may find that even as you strive to direct your mind towards positive thoughts, old patterns of thinking resurface. Do not be discouraged by this. It is a natural part of the process. Think of your mind as a river that has been flowing in a certain direction for years. When you begin to change the course of this river, it may initially resist trying to return to its familiar path. But with persistent effort, you can redirect the flow. Each time you consciously choose a new thought, you are carving a new channel for this river to flow. Remember, the goal is not to never have a negative thought again. That would be an impossible and unnecessary standard. The goal is to become aware of your thoughts, to not be controlled by them, and to have the power to choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let go. As you deepen your practice of mental discipline, you may notice changes in your external world. Circumstances that once seemed challenging may resolve themselves with ease. Opportunities that align with your desires may begin to appear. This is not coincidence, but the natural result of your disciplined mind shaping your reality. But here's a crucial point to understand. The discipline of your mind is not about controlling external circumstances. It's about mastering your inner world. When you achieve this inner mastery, the outer world naturally conforms to match your inner state. This is the law of your being. Now let's explore how the discipline of the mind manifests in your daily life. It's not just about sitting in meditation or doing visualization exercises. It's about bringing this awareness and control into every moment of your day. When you truly discipline your mind, you become more present in each moment. You are no longer at the mercy of your wandering thoughts, but fully engaged in your experiences. This presence brings a richness and depth to your life that cannot be achieved when your mind is constantly racing to the past or future. Mental discipline also manifests in how you respond to challenges and setbacks. When you have mastery over your mind, you no longer react impulsively to external stimuli. Instead, you pause, choose your response consciously, and act from a place of inner calm and wisdom. This doesn't mean you will never feel negative emotions or face difficulties. But it does mean that you have the power to choose how you interpret and respond to these experiences. You have the ability to find the lesson, the opportunity for growth in every situation. As you continue on this journey of mental discipline, you will likely encounter moments of doubt or frustration. There may be times when it feels like you're not making progress, or when old patterns seem to reassert themselves with renewed strength. In these moments, do not despair. These are not setbacks, but opportunities for even deeper transformation. Remember, every moment is a new beginning. No matter what thoughts you've had in the past, no matter how undisciplined your mind may have been, you always have the power to choose again in this moment. This is the beauty and power of mental discipline. It is always available to you, always waiting for you to claim it. Let us address a question that often arises. Neville, how can I maintain mental discipline when the world around me seems chaotic or negative? This is a beautiful question, for it points to the true power of a disciplined mind. You see, the discipline of your mind is not dependent on external circumstances. In fact, it is in challenging times that mental discipline becomes most crucial and powerful. When the world around you seems chaotic, your disciplined mind becomes an anchor of calm and clarity. Imagine you're in the storm-tossed sea. The waves of circumstance may be crashing all around you, but with a disciplined mind, you remain steady. You know that you are not at the mercy of the storm, but the creator of your own reality. You understand that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. And so you focus on maintaining inner calm and clarity. This is not about denying or ignoring the challenges around you. It's about choosing where to place your attention and energy. A disciplined mind allows you to acknowledge the reality of your current circumstances while simultaneously holding the vision of your desired reality. As you practice this mental discipline in challenging times, you become a beacon of light in the darkness. Your calm, your clarity, your unwavering focus on your desired reality begins to influence those around you. You become a living demonstration of the power of a disciplined mind. Now let us delve deeper into the practice of mental discipline. One powerful technique is the use of affirmations. These are not mere positive statements, but declarations of your true nature and desired reality. When you say, "I am successful" or "I am loved," you are not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. Rather, you are aligning yourself with the truth of your being at the deepest level. The key to effective affirmations lies in feeling the truth of the statements as you say them. Don't just repeat the words mechanically. Feel the reality of what you're saying. Let it resonate in every cell of your being. This is how you impress these truths upon your subconscious mind. Another powerful tool in mental discipline is meditation. But understand, meditation is not about emptying your mind of all thoughts. It's about becoming the observer of your thoughts. It's about creating space between you and your thoughts so that you can choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let pass by. Start with just a few minutes each day. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, simply observe them without judgment. Don't try to push them away or hold on to them. Just let them pass like clouds in the sky. This practice strengthens your ability to be the master of your mind rather than its slave. As you continue to practice mental discipline, you may find that your perception of time begins to shift. You become more fully present in each moment, no longer constantly rehashing the past or worrying about the future. This presence brings a richness and depth to your life that cannot be achieved when your mind is undisciplined. Remember, the goal of mental discipline is not to never have a negative thought or emotion. That would be an impossible and unnecessary standard. The goal is to have the awareness and the power to choose your thoughts and emotions consciously, to align them with your highest vision for yourself and your life. Now, let us address something that many of you may be experiencing as you embark on this journey of mental discipline. You may find that as you begin to take control of your mind, certain aspects of your life begin to change. Relationships may shift, opportunities may arise, challenges may dissolve. Do not be alarmed by these changes. They are the natural result of your inner transformation. You see, as you discipline your mind, you are literally changing the frequency at which you vibrate. And in doing so, you naturally attract experiences and circumstances that match this new vibration. Trust in this process. Trust that as you align your mind with your highest good, everything in your experience must shift to reflect this alignment. Let us now explore how mental discipline manifests in your interactions with others. When you have mastery over your own mind, you no longer react impulsively to others' words or actions. Instead, you respond from a place of inner calm and wisdom. You understand that others' behavior is a reflection of their own mental state, not a determinant of your own. This doesn't mean you become passive or allow others to treat you poorly. On the contrary, mental discipline gives you the clarity to set healthy boundaries and the strength to maintain them. But you do so from a place of understanding and compassion rather than anger or resentment. As you practice mental discipline in your interactions, you may find that your relationships become more harmonious. Conflicts that once seemed insurmountable may resolve themselves with ease. This is because you are no longer adding fuel to the fire of discord with your own uncontrolled thoughts and emotions. But remember, the goal of mental discipline is not to control others or manipulate your environment. It's about mastering your own inner world. When you achieve this inner mastery, your outer world naturally conforms to match your inner state. This is the law of your being. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling as you hear these words. You may be thinking, Neville, this all sounds wonderful, but it seems so difficult. How can I possibly achieve this level of mental discipline? To this I say, start where you are. Mental discipline is not something you achieve all at once. It's a practice, a way of being that you cultivate day by day, moment by moment. Begin by simply becoming aware of your thoughts. Notice without judgment. This awareness alone is a powerful step towards mastery. Then start small. Perhaps you can begin your day by consciously choosing a positive thought to focus on. Throughout your day, if you catch your mind wandering into negative territory, gently redirect it to this positive thought. It may feel challenging at first, but persist. With practice, it will become easier and more natural. As you practice these small acts of mental discipline, you are creating new neural pathways in your brain. You are training your mind to default to positive, empowering thoughts rather than negative, limiting ones. Over time, these small acts accumulate, transforming your entire mental. Remember, my dear friends, that you are always the master of your mind, even if you haven't been exercising that mastery. Your thoughts do not control you. You are the thinker of the thoughts. This understanding is crucial in the discipline of the mind. It gives you the power to shape your mental landscape at will. As we near the end of our time together, I want to impress upon you the transformative power of mental discipline. It is not merely a self-help technique or a way to feel better about yourself. It is a fundamental shift in consciousness that has the power to revolutionize your entire experience of life. When you truly master your mind, you align with the creative power of the universe. You open yourself to the infinite possibilities that exist in every moment. You become a conscious co-creator with the divine, shaping your reality from a place of clarity and power. But remember, this journey of mental discipline is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked every day. It requires your commitment, your attention, your willingness to choose again and again, even when it feels challenging. Trust in this process. Trust in the law that states your outer world must conform to your inner state. As you cultivate discipline within your mind, your world must and will reflect this mastery back to you. It is inevitable. It is law. In closing, I urge you to make the discipline of your mind your highest priority. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your life. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own experience, but contributing to the elevation of all consciousness. Remember, you are the master of your mind. You are the creator of your reality. You have within you the power to shape your world through the disciplined use of your consciousness. Embrace this truth. Live from this truth. And watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go forth now with this knowledge and power. Practice mental discipline diligently. Choose your thoughts consciously in every moment. And know with absolute certainty that as you master your mind, your world must and will transform to reflect this mastery. You are blessed. You are powerful. You are the master of your mind and the creator of your reality. Now go and live from this truth. It is your birthright. It is your destiny. It is done. Thank you. And may you be filled with the infinite power of your disciplined mind. My dear friends, as we embark on this journey together, I want you to understand that self-love is not merely a concept or an idea, but a living, breathing reality that exists within each and every one of you. It is the very essence of your being, the divine spark that animates your existence. Self-love is not something to be acquired or achieved, but rather it is your natural state of being, waiting to be recognized and embraced. Now, You might ask, Neville, how can I love myself when I see so many flaws, so many shortcomings? And to this I say, what you perceive as flaws are merely the shadows cast by your limited perception of self. For you see, you are not your body. You are not your thoughts. You are not your past experiences. You are the awareness behind all of these, the pure consciousness that observes and experiences. To truly understand self-love, we must first understand the nature of the self. You are, in essence, God expressing itself as you. The I am that you feel when you say, I am is the same I am that spoke the universe into existence. It is the eternal, unchanging awareness that exists beyond time and space. When you truly grasp this truth, when you feel it in the very depths of your being, self-love becomes as natural as breathing. But how, you may wonder, does one cultivate this self-love? It begins with awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs about yourself. For these are the building blocks of your reality. Every thought you think about yourself, every emotion you feel towards yourself, every belief you hold about your worth and value is shaping your experience in this very moment. Imagine, if you will, that your consciousness is a vast, unlimited ocean. The thoughts and beliefs you hold about yourself are like drops of dye in this ocean. If you consistently drop dyes of self-criticism, self-doubt, and self-loathing, is it any wonder that the ocean of your experience becomes tinged with these colors? But when you begin to introduce drops of self-love, self-appreciation, and self-acceptance, the entire ocean begins to shift. This, my dear friends, is the power of self-love. It is not merely feeling good about yourself, although that is certainly a part of it. True self-love is recognition of your divine nature, an acceptance of your inherent worth, and a willingness to see yourself as God sees you, perfect, whole, and complete. Now let us delve deeper into the practice of self-love. It begins with your inner dialogue, the conversations you have with yourself moment by moment. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Are you kind and encouraging, or harsh and critical? Could you speak to a loved one? The way you speak to yourself. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of your true nature. Say to yourself, I am love. I am worthy. I am enough. Feel the truth of these statements resonating in your being. This is not positive thinking or affirmations, but a recognition of your true self. As you practice this self-awareness and self-correction, you will begin to notice a shift in your perception. The world around you may seem brighter, more welcoming. This is because the world you see is a reflection of your inner state. As you cultivate love for yourself, you naturally begin to see more love in the world around you. But self-love goes beyond mere thoughts and words. It must be embodied, felt, lived. One powerful way to do this is through the use of your imagination. Your imagination is not some fanciful daydreaming, but the very creative power of the universe expressing through you. It is through your imagination that you can impress upon your subconscious mind the reality of your lovable, worthy nature. Each night, as you lay in bed ready for sleep, close your eyes and create a scene that implies you are deeply loved and appreciated. Perhaps you see yourself surrounded by people who adore you, or perhaps you're looking in a mirror and seeing a radiant, confident version of yourself. Whatever scene you choose, step into it. Feel it as real. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? How does it feel to be so loved and appreciated? As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of your lovable nature. And your subconscious, being the faithful servant that it is, will begin to bring about circumstances and experiences that match this inner feeling. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried to love myself before, and it didn't work. Nothing changed. To this I say, persistence is key. Self-love is not a destination to be reached, but a practice to be lived. Just as you wouldn't expect to be physically fit after one trip to the gym, you cannot expect to transform years of self-doubt and self-criticism overnight. But here's the wonderful truth. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose love. Every breath is a chance to remember your divine nature. You are not bound by your past thoughts or actions. In each instant, you have the power to choose again, to realign with love. As you continue this practice of self-love, you may find that old patterns and beliefs resurface. Welcome. These are not obstacles, but opportunities. They are bringing to the surface old ways of thinking and being that no longer serve you, allowing you to consciously choose love instead. Remember, self-love is not selfish. In fact, it is the most selfless thing you can do. For as you fill yourself with love, as you recognize your own divine nature, you naturally begin to see the divinity in others. You become a beacon of love, radiating it to all those around you. This is the true power of self-love. It transforms not only your own experience, but the entire world around you. For the world you see is a reflection of your consciousness. As you love yourself more deeply, more completely, you begin to see a more loving world. Now let us address a common misconception about self-love. Some believe that loving oneself means never experiencing negative emotions or always feeling happy. This is not the case. Self-love is not about suppressing or denying certain emotions. Rather, it's about accepting all parts of yourself, including your emotions, with compassion and understanding. When you truly love yourself, you allow yourself to feel whatever arises without judgment. You understand that emotions are temporary states, waves in the ocean of your consciousness. They do not define you. By allowing yourself to feel fully, without resistance, you actually move through emotions more quickly and return to your natural state of peace and love. As you deepen your practice of self-love, you may notice changes in your relationships with others. You may find that you no longer seek validation or approval from external sources. You may become more authentic in your interactions, more willing to express your truth. This is because when you truly love yourself, you no longer need others to fill a void or make you feel worthy. This doesn't mean you become isolated or uncaring towards others. On the contrary, your relationships become richer, more genuine. You are able to love others more fully because you're no longer coming from a place of lack or need. You are loving from your overflow. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be experiencing as you embark on this journey of self-love. You may find that as you begin to love yourself more, certain people or situations in your life seem to resist this change. Old patterns may try to reassert themselves. Do not be discouraged by this. It is a natural part of the process. You see, as you change your inner state, as you begin to vibrate at the frequency of love, everything in your world must adjust to match this new vibration. Some relationships may fall away, while new ones that match your energy will come into your life. Trust in this process. Trust that as you align with love, everything in your experience must shift to reflect this love. Let us now explore how self-love manifests in your daily life. It's not just about feeling good about yourself, but about treating yourself with kindness and respect in every aspect of your life. It's about making choices that honor your well-being, your growth, your joy. When you truly love yourself, you naturally begin to take better care of your body. You nourish it with healthy foods, you give it the rest it needs, you move it in ways that feel good. But this is not done from a place of should or must. It's not about forcing yourself to follow a strict regimen. Rather, it comes from a place of love and appreciation for the vessel that carries your consciousness through this physical experience. Self-love also manifests in how you spend your time and energy. When you love yourself, you set healthy boundaries. You say no to things that drain you and yes to things that uplift you. You surround yourself with people and environments that support your growth and well-being. But remember, self-love is not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or always making the right choice. Self-love is about accepting yourself fully, including your imperfections and mistakes. It's about treating yourself with compassion and understanding, especially when you fall short of your own expectations. As you deepen your practice of self-love, you may find that your desires and goals begin to shift. Things that once seemed important may fall away, replaced by aspirations that are more aligned with your true self. This is because when you love yourself fully, you naturally want to express your unique gifts and live your purpose. Let's address a question that often arises. Never, how can I love myself when there are things about myself that I want to change? This is a beautiful question, for it points to the transformative power of self-love. You see, true change does not come from a place of self-rejection or self-criticism. It comes from a place of love and acceptance. When you love yourself fully, including the parts you wish to change, you create a safe space for transformation. You are no longer fighting against yourself, but working with yourself. Imagine you have a garden, and in this garden there are plants you wish to cultivate and others you wish to remove. If you approach this garden with anger and frustration, hacking away at the unwanted plants, you may damage the soil and the plants you wish to keep. But if you approach the garden with love and care, gently removing what no longer serves while nurturing what you wish to grow, the entire garden flourishes. This is how self-love facilitates change. It creates a nurturing environment in which you can grow and evolve. It allows you to look at yourself honestly without judgment and make choices from a place of love rather than fear or self-loathing. As you continue on this journey of self-love, you will likely encounter moments of doubt or resistance. Old patterns of self-criticism may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Instead, observe them with compassion. Remember, these thoughts are not you. They are old programs running in your mind, and you have the power to choose different thoughts. In these moments, return to your I am. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and affirm, I am love. I am worthy. I am enough. Feel the truth of these statements in your being. Let them wash over you, dissolving any doubts or fears. Now let us explore the ripple effects of self-love in your life. As you cultivate love for yourself, you may notice that your perception of the world begins to change. You may find yourself more appreciative of the beauty around you, more patient with others, more open to new experiences. This is because self-love opens your heart. It removes the filters of fear and judgment through which you've been viewing the world. As you accept and love yourself more fully, you naturally begin to accept and love others more fully as well. You may also find that opportunities and experiences that align with your highest good begin to flow into your life more easily. This is not because the universe suddenly decides to reward you for loving yourself. Rather, it's because your vibration of love attracts experiences that match this vibration. Remember, the world you experience is a reflection of your consciousness. As you fill your consciousness with love, your world must reflect this love back to you. This doesn't point to understand. This doesn't mean you will never face challenges or difficulties. Self-love is not a magic shield that protects you from all hardship. Rather, it gives you the inner resources to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. When you love yourself deeply, you trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You know that no matter what happens externally, you always have access to the infinite love and wisdom within you. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling as you hear these words. You may be thinking, Neville, this all sounds wonderful, but it feels so far from my current reality. How can I bridge this gap? To this I say, start where you are. Self-love is not something you achieve all at once. It's a practice, a way of being that you cultivate day by day, moment by moment. Begin by simply becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings towards yourself. Notice without judgment. This awareness alone is a powerful step towards change. Then start small. Perhaps you can begin your day by looking in the mirror and saying, I love you to yourself. It may feel awkward or insincere at first, but persist. Feel the words as you say them. Let them sink into your being. Throughout your day, look for small ways to show yourself love and kindness. Maybe it's taking a few deep breaths when you feel stressed. Maybe it's speaking to yourself with gentleness when you make a mistake. Maybe it's doing something that brings you joy, simply because it makes you happy. As you practice these small acts of self-love, you are creating new neural pathways in your brain. You are training your mind to default to love rather than criticism. Over time, these small acts accumulate, transforming your relationship with yourself at the deepest level. Remember, my dear friends, that you are always worthy of love simply because you exist. Your worth is not determined by your achievements, your appearance, your relationships, or any external factor. You are worthy because you are a unique expression of the divine. Miracle of consciousness in human heart. As we near the end of our time together, I want to impress upon you the transformative power of self-love. It is not merely a feel-good concept or a self-help technique. It is a fundamental shift in consciousness that has the power to revolutionize your entire experience of life. When you truly love yourself, you align with the creative power of the universe. You open yourself to the infinite possibilities that exist in every moment. You become a co-creator with the divine, shaping your reality from a place of love and power. But remember, this journey of self-love is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked every day. It requires your commitment, your attention, your willingness to choose love again and again, even when it feels challenging. Trust in this process. Trust in the law that states your outer world must conform to your inner state. As you cultivate love within, your world must and will reflect this love back to you. It is inevitable. It is law. In closing, I urge you to make self-love your highest priority. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your life. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own experience, but contributing to the elevation of all consciousness. Remember, you are God expressing as you. You are infinite love in human form. You are worthy, you are enough, you are loved beyond measure. Embrace this truth. Live from this truth. And watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go forth now with this knowledge and power. Practice self-love diligently. Choose love in every moment. And know with absolute certainty that as you love yourself more fully, your world must and will transform to reflect this love. You are blessed. You are divine. You are love itself. Now go and live from this truth. It is your birthright. It is your destiny. Thank you, and may you be filled with the infinite love that you are. My dear friends, we shall explore the profound art of accepting rejection, a skill that, once mastered, will unveil the infinite potential that lies dormant within you. You see, rejection is not what you have been led to believe. It is not a barrier, not an end, but rather a divine signal, a message from the depths of your own being, guiding you towards your true desires and ultimate fulfillment. We will begin by understanding a fundamental truth. The world you perceive around you, with all its rejections and acceptances, is nothing more than a reflection of your own consciousness. You are the operant power, the divine creative force that shapes your reality. The rejections you face are not external forces acting upon you, but manifestations of your own inner state. Now you might ask, Neville, if I am the creator of my reality, why would I create rejection for myself? But herein lies the beautiful mystery of our journey. For in the seeming darkness of rejection, we find the light of our true desire. When you face rejection, when that door seems to close before you, is it not an opportunity to look deeper within yourself? To question whether what you thought you wanted is truly aligned with your innermost being? Rejection, my dear friends, is a gift. A chance to refine your desires, to hone your focus, and to align more perfectly with your divine purpose. Let us delve deeper into this concept. Imagine, if you will, that you are an artist standing before a blank canvas. Your brush is poised, ready to create. But what shall you paint? The possibilities are endless, are they not? Now, as you begin to paint, you may find that certain strokes do not please you. You may wipe them away, reject them, if you will. But is this rejection of failure? No. It is a crucial part of the creative process, guiding you towards the masterpiece that lies within your imagination. So it is with the rejections we face in life. Each note you receive is not a judgment of your worth, but a refined stroke on the canvas of your existence. It is the universe, which is none other than your own wonderful human imagination, guiding you towards the grandest expression of yourself. Now let us turn our attention to the power of imagination, for herein lies the key to not just accepting rejection, but transmuting it into the very fuel of your success. When you face rejection, When that door seems to close, I urge you not to dwell in the facts of the rejection. For facts, as we know, are merely the fruit of past impressions. Instead, I implore you to use your divine gift of imagination. Close your eyes, enter the state akin to sleep, and see yourself as you wish to be. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of having moved past this rejection into the state of your desire fulfilled. For remember, imagination creates reality, and what you assume you become. Let me share with you a technique that I have found to be most effective in this regard. When faced with rejection, retire to a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Relax your body and mind, allowing yourself to enter a state of drowsiness. Now construct a scene in your mind's eye that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Perhaps you see yourself being congratulated on your success, or enjoying the fruits of your accepted proposal. The key here is not just to see this scene, but to enter into it fully. Feel the handshakes, hear the words of praise, experience the joy and satisfaction as if it were happening here and now. For in the realm of imagination, there's no rejection, only the pure, perfect expression of your desires. Persist in this state. Replay this scene over and over until it takes on the tones of reality. As you do this, you are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of your desire fulfilled. And remember, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts this fact. Whatever you impress upon it with feeling. Now let's address a question that may arise in your minds. You might ask, but Neville, how can I imagine success when the fact of rejection stares me in the face? To this I say, facts are fluid, not solid. They are but the fruit of past impressions, and they can be changed by impressing new ideas upon your subconscious mind. Consider the biblical story of Joseph. Rejected by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, yet through it all, Joseph held fast to his inner conviction. He saw himself as a leader, a man of importance, and eventually, that is precisely what he became. The rejections he faced were but stepping stones on his path to greatness. So it must be with you. When rejection comes, do not accept it as final. Do not let it define you. Instead, see it as Joseph did, as a temporary state, a divine redirection guiding you towards your true path. Use your imagination to live from the end, to experience the state of your wish fulfilled, and watch as the so-called facts of your life rearrange themselves to match your inner conviction. Let us now explore the concept of states. For you see, rejection is not a thing, but a state of consciousness. And you, my dear friends, have the power to choose the state you wish to occupy. What state or action, ask yourself? What state am I occupying right now? Is it the state of being rejected or the state of my wish fulfilled? Remember, the state you occupy is entirely up to you. No one can force you to dwell in the state of rejection. You have the divine right at any moment to step out of that state and into the state of your desire fulfilled. And as you do so, as you persistently occupy this new state, you will find that your outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner conviction. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, surely we cannot simply ignore the reality of rejection when it occurs. To this I say, you are not ignoring reality, you are creating it. The rejection you perceive is but a shadow, a reflection of past states you have occupied. By choosing to occupy a new state, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine power to create a new reality. Consider the biblical injunction. All things are possible to him who believes. This is not mere poetic language, my friends. It is a statement of cosmic law. Your belief, your assumption, your occupied state, this is the causative force in your life. Rejection only has power over you if you grant it that power by believing in it. But you have the power to withdraw your belief from the state of rejection and place it fully in the state of your wish fulfilled. As you do this, as you live from this new state, you will find that the outer circumstances of your life have no choice but to rearrange themselves to match your inner conviction. Let us now turn our attention to the practice of revision, for this is a powerful tool in learning to accept and transcend rejection. when you face a rejection, when an event occurs that seems to deny your desire, you have the power to revise that event in your imagination. Here's how you might practice this. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events of the day. If you encountered any rejections or setbacks, do not accept them as final. Instead, revise them in your imagination. See the event playing out differently with the outcome you desire. Feel the joy and satisfaction of this revised event as if it had actually occurred. As you do this, you are not merely engaging in wishful thinking. You are actually rewriting the impressions in your subconscious mind. And since your subconscious mind is the builder of your future, you are quite literally recreating your reality. Remember, my dear friends, time is a construct of our human consciousness. In the realm of spirit, all is now. By revising events in your imagination, you are not changing the past. You are creating a new now, which must inevitably lead to a new future. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of consciousness, for herein lies the key to truly mastering the art of accepting rejection. You see, your consciousness is the only reality. All that you perceive as real, including the rejections you face, is but an outpicturing of your states of consciousness. When you truly grasp this truth, when you internalize it, not just intellectually but emotionally, you will see rejection in an entirely new light. For if consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness, then you have the power to accept or reject any experience. This is not to say that you deny the appearance of rejection in your outer world. Rather, you acknowledge it as a reflection of past states of consciousness while simultaneously choosing to occupy a new state, the state of your wish fulfilled. I'm the Lord thy God. This is not speaking of some external deity, my friends. It is speaking of you, of the divine I am within you. This I am is the creative power of the universe, and it is your true identity. When you say I am, you are invoking this creative power. And whatever you attach to this I am, you are calling into being. So when you face rejection, be very careful of the thoughts you entertain. Do not say, I am rejected, for in doing so, you are creating that very state. Instead, boldly declare, I am accepted, I am successful, I am worthy. For these declarations, felt with conviction, must create that reality in your world. Let us now explore the power of feeling. For feeling is the secret of creation. It is not enough to merely affirm positive statements or visualize desired outcomes. You must feel the reality of your desire fulfilled. You must generate within yourself the emotion you would experience if your desire were already a fact. When you face rejection, instead of feeling disappointed or discouraged, summon within yourself the feeling of satisfaction, of joy, of accomplishment. Feel as you would feel if your desire had been accepted and fulfilled. For remember, your feeling is your prayer. And as you pray, so shall you receive. This might seem challenging at first, especially in the face of seeming rejection. But I assure you, with practice, you can cultivate this skill. Start small if you must. In moments of rejection, pause and ask yourself, if this had gone exactly as I desired. Then, to the best of your ability, summon that feeling within yourself. As you practice this, you will find that it becomes easier and more natural. You will discover that you have the power to choose your emotional state regardless of outer circumstances. And as you consistently choose the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will see your outer world transform to match your inner state. Now, let us address a question that may arise in your minds. You might ask, Neville, if I am to feel as if my desire is fulfilled, does this mean I should not take action in the physical world? To this I sigh. Action is necessary, but it must flow from the right state of consciousness. You see, when you truly occupied the state of your wish fulfilled, when you feel the reality of it in every fiber of your being, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take the right actions. These actions will not feel like a struggle or a strain. They will feel natural, effortless, as if you're simply playing the part that is already yours. Consider the example of a person who desires a promotion at work. If they merely affirm positive statements while still feeling unworthy or incapable, their actions will betray their true state. They might hesitate to take on new responsibilities or shy away from leadership opportunities. But if this same person fully embraces the state of being promoted, if they feel the confidence and capability of their new position, their actions will naturally align with this state. They will find themselves confidently taking on new challenges, demonstrating leadership, and performing at the level of their desired position. So you see, action is important, but it must be inspired action. Action that flows naturally from the state of your wish fulfilled. As you learn to accept rejection by living from the end, by occupying the state of your desire fulfilled, you will find that the right actions come to you effortlessly. Now let us turn our attention to the concept of detachment, for this is crucial in learning to accept rejection. Many of you may be holding on too tightly to specific outcomes, and in doing so, you create resistance and suffering when those outcomes do not immediately manifest. Remember, my dear friends, your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of imagination. It is done. Your work is not to make it happen, but to allow it to unfold in the physical world. This requires a state of detachment, not from your desire itself, but from the specific way in which it must manifest. When you face rejections, see it not as a final no, but as a not this way. Trust that your desire is finding its perfect path to manifestation, even if that path is not immediately apparent to your physical senses. This trust, this detachment, allows you to maintain your chosen state regardless of outer appearances. Consider the words of Scripture. My ways are not your ways, neither are my thoughts your thoughts. This is not speaking of an external God, but of your own wonderful human imagination, the God within you. Your conscious mind may think it knows the best path to your desire, but your divine imagination, which is one with infinite intelligence, knows the perfect. So when rejection appears, do not be discouraged. Do not see it as a failure of your creative power. Instead, see it as your imagination guiding you towards an even better manifestation of your desire. Maintain your chosen state. Persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and trust in the perfect unfolding of your desire. Let us now explore the power of gratitude in accepting rejection. For you see, gratitude is not just a reaction to receiving what you want. It is a causative force that draws your good to you. When you face rejection, instead of focusing on what you lacked, turn your attention to all that you have to be grateful for. Be grateful for the opportunity to refine your desires. Be grateful for the chance to strengthen your faith. Be grateful for the lessons learned and the growth experienced. And most importantly, be grateful for your desire fulfilled, not as a future event, but as a present fact in your imagination. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of receiving. You open yourself to the abundance of the universe. And in this state of openness and receptivity, you become magnetic to your desires. Remember, the feeling of gratitude implies that you have already received. So as you feel grateful for your desire fulfilled, you are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality of your wish. And your subconscious mind, being impersonal, will work tirelessly to bring about the conditions that match your inner conviction. Now let us address the role of persistence in learning to accept rejection. For you see, the transformation of consciousness is not always instantaneous. It requires persistent application of these principles we have discussed. When you face rejection, when outer appearances seem to deny your desire, you may be tempted to abandon your chosen state. You may find your old habits of thought and feeling trying to reassert themselves. This is natural, my dear friends, but it is in these moments that persistence is most crucial. Remember the words of Scripture. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This transformation is a process. It requires patient persistence. Each time you choose to occupy your desired state in the face of seeming rejection, you are strengthening new neural pathways. You are literally rewiring your brain to align with your chosen reality. So do not be discouraged if results are not immediate. Do not abandon your chosen state at the first sign of rejection. Persist in living from the end, in feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled. For it is written, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure, and it will not be late. Let us now explore the concept of the Sabbath, for this holds a profound key to mastering the art of accepting rejection. In Scripture, we read that God rested on the seventh day, seeing that all he had created was very good. His Sabbath is not a little day of the week, but a state of consciousness, a state of complete assurance that your desire is fulfilled. When you enter this Sabbath state, you cease from all effort to make your desire manifest. You do not anxiously look for signs of its coming. You do not wrestle with doubts or fears. You simply rest in the calm assurance that it is done. This state of Sabbath is the ultimate acceptance, not of rejection, but of the absolute reality of your desire fulfilled. From this state, rejection as you have known it ceases to exist. For how can you be rejected when you know with every fiber of your being that you already are that which you desire to be? Entering this Sabbath state may take practice. Begin by setting aside time each day to fully immerse yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. As you become more adept at maintaining this state, you will find that you can carry it with you throughout your day, regardless of outer circumstances. Now, my dear friends, as we near the conclusion of our exploration, let us reflect on the true nature of rejection. For you see, rejection is not an external force acting upon you. It is not a judgment of your worth or a limit to your potential. Rejection, in its deepest essence, is simply a misalignment between your outer world and your inner conviction. When you understand this truth, you realize that the power to accept or reject any experience lies entirely within you. You are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are the creator of your reality, the author of your life story. So I say to you, reject rejection, not through force or struggle, but by simply choosing to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. For in that state, rejection cannot exist. In that state, there is only the perfect unfoldment of your desires. Remember, my dear friends, you are divine beings, endowed with the creative power of the universe. You have within you the ability to transcend any limitations, to overcome any obstacle. The rejections you face are not barriers to your success, but invitations to align more fully with your true divine nature. As we conclude, I urge you to carry these truths with you. Let them infuse every aspect of your life. When you face rejection, remember that you have the power to choose your state of consciousness. Choose wisely, choose lovingly, choose in alignment with your deepest desires. Live from the end. Persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And watch as your word transforms to match your inner conviction. For it is written, all things are possible to him who believes. And you, my dear friends, are believers, creators, divine beings expressing the infinite potential of the universe. Go forth now and create the life you desire. Accept not the limitations of the world, but the boundless possibility that lies within you. For in learning to accept rejection, you have learned to accept your own divine power. And in that acceptance lies your ultimate freedom, your ultimate fulfillment, your ultimate success. So be it.